What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so a lot of people are dragging Shaq right now for shaking hands with President Trump at UFC 313 recently. And a lot of people saying, Shaq was, because I believe Shaq was the one that took the initiative. He basically parted the crowd to go over to shake President Trump's hand, right? I think he shook his hand, sort of did like the little half hug thing, whispered something in Trump's ear, and then kept it moving. And a lot of people saying, Shaq is a buck dancer. Shaq is, a COON. The usual stuff, right? And then you have some people who say, look, Shaq is not necessarily a political guy. He's never really been big in politics. He's never been a political activist. He's always been sort of refrained from talking about certain things politically. He's been more of a businessman, and he tends to stay away from political talk, right? Which most business people do. So look, this is how I look at it. I generally don't give a fuck that he did this. It doesn't. How can I say this? I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's going on with the Trump administration, right? I don't. I don't think that he's a good president. I never understood the fascination with Trump. I think that he says ridiculous things. Like recently, he stated that he believes that tariffs will one day replace income taxes, which is ridiculous because this country gets about, $4 to $5 trillion of its revenue from taxes. And if you think tariffs will be able to cover that, I mean, so be it. I think there's a possibility that he's going to run this country to the ground financially. Obviously, there are people working in his administration that are against the interests of people that look like me. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. There ain't no woke talk. That's just the actions that we're seeing out there. Do I agree that DEI has gone too far? Absolutely. But these DEI programs are in effect for a certain reason. And all you really have with some of these people who have problems with quote unquote DEI, these are really just the same suspects masquerading and gaslighting and conniving and using all types of mental gymnastics to hide their true intent. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the ineptitude, the security breaches, the security risk, people in place in high-ranking positions who don't belong there, people with devious. It's just the same thing that we saw in the last administration with Biden. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's really no difference. Other than, there are certain things that I do agree with when it comes to some of the stuff that Trump is against, and I just leave it there when it comes to some of the social stuff, right? Now, having said all that, right, I don't lose sleep if Shaq shook the man's hand. At some point, you got to look at it from a more mature standpoint. Number one, he is the president of the United States. Whether you like it or not, He's the president of the United States. Even if you don't respect the man, you still should respect the office. I thought Biden was an imbecile. But if Joe Biden had been in where I live at, right? And he had came over to shake my hand, I would shake his hand and say, Mr. President, hello, it's an honor to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And then I would talk shit about his ass on YouTube when I got home or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I still believe you should respect the office. And at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with Shaq shaking the dude's hand. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's endorsing everything that Trump is for. And also, like I said, Shaq is not out here speaking politically all the time. And I'm gonna say something else too. If, let's say, if Tom Brady had been in one of these events, right? Even though I don't think she would be there, but let's say Tom Brady or somebody, right, had been in one of these events and he refused to shake Kamala Harris's hand. You know what people would think if she had won. Hell, I'm gonna tell you how I keep the same energy. Y'all know I don't like Kamala Harris, right? I thought she's a buffoon. But I said, when that husband of the senator, the woman that was being sworn in, when he refused to shake her hand, I said he was wrong for that. She's still the vice president. Period. Whether you like her or not. She's still the fucking vice president. And that was disrespectful. And I saw people making excuses for it. It's bull. So, like I said, I keep the same energy all the time. Even if people say I don't. I don't really care if Shaq shook the man's hand. Who cares? Oh, Shaq is a buck. Who the fuck are you to tell another grown man whose hand he's supposed to shake? The nerve of these niggas running around here. That's the problem with people that they think they own us. And other black people do too. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I don't care if Shaq shook his hand. He's a grown-ass 53-year-old man. He don't need your permission, nigga.